What's going on, guys? In this video I'm going to be showing you how to create an app with a list and a detail view. We'll be creating a workout app, but you can take whatever information and then just create your own. You can make it a recipe app, you can make it just any kind of app that would have a list and have information about each item on a list. So we will get started here. Go ahead and create a new project, and I will be supplying all the data so you don't have to come up with all the information that will go in it. We'll just call this workout app, and then go ahead and hit next. Empty activity is fine. You could have used that API, whatever API you wanted. I'm going with the 21, and then go ahead and hit empty activity and then finish it up. But yeah, while this is loading, I will go ahead and click that link below and I'll send you to this GitHub page right here. I'll supply some workouts, some information for the app right here. Just go ahead and download it and then unzip it. Just drag it on our desktop and then go ahead and close that. And we'll just go ahead and unzip it, pull that file from inside that one. And then I'm just going to erase these two. Alright, once that file's done loading up, go over here to app, and then we'll take the file that we downloaded and then go over here and just right click on this, go new, and then go down the folder and then assets folder. We're going to stick it inside our assets folder. Go ahead and hit finish. So right here, and then we'll copy this and then we'll paste it inside this. Now this is where you can rename it. Something should pop up, ask if you want to rename it. So we'll just call this, actually we'll just say data. So you can take this file, you can create your own. I created it in Sublime Text. It's just a text editor, but you can use any kind of text editor to create one of these. So right here it is. So if you look at it, here's like the name of the array, and then each of these items inside are objects. So you could change this to whatever you want, and then you could put the title of, say if you wanted a recipe app, you could switch the information up. And these lines right here, these backslash ends, means new line. So every one of these will be a new line when it prints out to your app. But we'll get into more of that here in a minute. So first off, we need to come down to the layout, activity main, and we just need a list on this page. So go over here to text view, and we'll just switch it over to a list view, and then delete this hello world text, and then come up to the top and we'll make an ID for it, and then we'll just call this LV for list view. And that is all we need to do with that. So now we'll go over to the main activity and then create a variable for our list view. So we go private list view and LV, and then underneath it we will need to create an array list for our actual list, and we'll be needing this here in a little bit. So we'll just go private and then array list, and then we'll need to create a custom object class for this, and then we'll just call it workout. And these custom object classes work as kind of like a blueprints of like information that we want to store. So basically, let me finish making this array list. We'll just name it WOD list, and then go over here. We call it WOD list because like there's a workout app, and like in CrossFit, a WOD is like the workout of the day. So it's kind of like a common term. So we'll just keep it with that. But if you have a recipe, you can make a recipe list or whatever. So go over here and hit this. We'll create our workout class and go ahead and hit OK. So we'll need to take in two strings basically, and we'll name them title and WOD. So we go private string title and then private string WOD. This is all we need for our app. Just go ahead and right click and go to generate, and then getter and setter, and then go ahead and shift and click on both of these, then hit OK. And then right here we'll do the same thing. We need to create some constructors, and then same thing here, shift and click, and then create both. We'll create an empty constructor. I think we'll need this for this. A lot of times you really don't, but just depending on the way how we are passing some data. So we'll just go constructor and then select none. There you go. Okay, so go back over here, and that's all good right there. So down here we need to grab our reference to our list view. So we got lv equals find view by id r.id.lv. So now we have to create a way to grab our data from this assets file up here, this data. So we'll create a new Java class, and we'll name this data helper. This class will be used to grab our data with a create a function here. So go public static array list, and then same thing here. We'll pass in our custom class in here, workout, and then we'll just name this load workout. And then we'll have to pass in the context, which would be from our main activity. So context and then context. We have to pass it in because we're calling it from our main. And then we have to create one string here. What this is doing, it's going to, this little function right here, it will pull all this data right here and just make it into one long ass string. So go JSON and then equals and then quotes. All right, then we need to go input stream and is equals context dot get assets and then dot open. Then we need to pass in our file that we want to open. So our file that we want to open is data.json, and then we have to surround it with a try catch just in case, like, you know, some of this stuff don't exist or what. Okay, so we go int and then make this a name size and then equals is.available. Then we go to byte and make this a array, and then buffer equals new byte, and then inside this array we have to throw in a number, and our number will be size right here. And then is.read, and then inside here we have to read the buffer, and then is.close. This it closes out the input stream, and then JSON equals new string. Then we throw in buffer and our character set here, UTF-8. So this is pretty standard how to take a file and just make it all like one string. So let's return null right down here in this catch statement. Return null. Alright, right below this now, see this section up here just grabs our JSON file and throws it all in one big string. There's ways to do it. You could have made like a string with all that information in it, but this is just easier because you can go ahead and make a string like in your in like an Excel file and then go and convert that to an array list and stuff. But you know, this seems easiest to, it's easier to like look at and like see everything on your JSON file. And plus, using JSON files, it's like handy because when you create apps that will pull information from different APIs on the internet, most of them use JSON files. Like if you create a weather app, you would be seeing something similar to what all this is. So this right here will be what we basically sort through our string up here that we created and pull out each data, each object, and put it in our object class. Then it'll save it to a this array list up here. Or we have to create it, but so let's go ahead and create the array list. So we go array list, pass in workout here, and then we'll call this workouts. Then go equals new array list. That's all we have to do for that. And then go down here and go JSON object, and then obj equals new JSON object, and we have to pass in that string up here. So go JSON, and then surround with try catch here. And then we need to create our JSON array, and we'll just name this JSON array equals obj.getJSON array, and our JSON array is this right here. So just go ahead and copy the main array name, and then quotes, and then paste. So go for, and now we got to loop through our array, and then for every object that we see, we're going to throw it inside our array list. So go int I equals 0, and then I is less than ArrayList.length, or JSON array.length. This just goes through however long our array is, and then I++. And then inside it, we go JSON array, create a new JSON object, and then we'll just call it JSON object equals JSON array dot get JSON object, and then pass in I. So this will be, so it'll start with 0, so which will be this one, then it'll go to 1, then 2, then 3, and so on. So it's pulling each object, and then within each object here, we need to pull the 2 pieces of information inside each object. So we'll have to create a new instance of the workout class that we made, equals new workout, and then we go workout dot set title, and then inside this we go JSON object dot get string, and then our string name is, we got title and we got WAD. So we go title, and then just copy this and paste, and then WAD get WAD, set that to set WAD. So this is why we didn't need anything in our constructor up here. Now if we would have done it a different way, we'll just go ahead and mark that out. I just want to show you a separate way of doing it. We'll go ahead and copy this. You don't have to do this. We'll use our first way that we did. So you could actually just take these and then create strings out of each of them. And then we'll call this T equals, and then we go T string WAD equals. So that does that same thing, but then we have to go to the workouts dot add, and then you go new workout, and then you pass in each like T and then W. Or if we would do it the first way, if we do it our first way, let's go back here and uncomment that out. Like we would just go workouts. This is our array list up here, workouts, if you remember, and then go dot add, and then all we'd have to do is just type in workout, because it's already setting each of these inside our workout. So this is a little bit cleaner looking. So we'll just go ahead and delete these two. So, and the only thing left is we gotta return our list that we made. So return workouts. So let's go back over to the main activity, and we got our WAD list up here, our array list, and now we need to now as soon as we create our app, we need to basically set our list that we're pulling, all the data that we're pulling from here. We gotta set it to this WAD list here. So we go WAD list equals, and we got to call that function that we created over there. So we go data helper dot load workout, and then type in this. We have to pass in that context, which is this. So as soon as it loads up, it's going to actually put this list right here inside our list from the main, because that's what this is doing. It's just pulling all this information and stick it inside this list that we created right here. So once we got that list pulled, we need to find a way to set all of our information. We want to set the title for our list inside the list view. So we need each line to be different, each title to be. So here we can't really go to our WAD list and like iterate through everything, just our titles alone. Let's go up here and create a private adapter, and then we'll call this we'll just name this adapter. And then down here underneath our WAD list, actually let's do it here. We need to add a few things up here after we do this. So we'll go adapter equals new array adapter, and we just pass in a string here. We're just having one item in each line, and then we go pass in some context, which is this. Android supplies like a layout, so we'll go android.r.layout.simple list item 1, and then we need to pass in strings that we need to put in here. Yeah, since we can't pass in our array list up here, the WAD list, we need to actually create another array list to just hold our titles. So this is done pretty easily. You go private array list, and then instead of passing in our workouts, we just pass in a string, and then we'll just call this title list, and then come down here underneath this one, and then we go title list equals new array list, and close that off. And then we need to create a for loop to basically pull each of our titles and stick them in here, and it's done within like 1 or 2 lines. For int I equals 0, and then you go I is less than WAD list dot size, and then close that off, and then go I plus plus. So inside here we need to create a string, and we'll just call it str equals our WAD list dot get, and then throw an I in here so we can iterate through our WAD list, and then we just want to grab the titles, and then we need to put the titles inside our title list. So you go title list dot add, and then str. So this is just going to basically fill up our title list with just the titles of our that's inside here. So it's just going to put each of these titles in there, and then right here we need to pass in the title list, and then underneath this we need to actually let's grab this guy right here, throw it up here. So we go lv dot set adapter, and then adapter, and then you gotta cast it to something, I think. Let's go ahead and run this real quick. So there you go. Yeah, nothing happens if you click on them or nothing. So, but yeah, we got all of our workouts. These are all just the names of. So we got that all good. Now we just need to do something once you click on each item. So to do that, we need to go to lv dot set on item click listener, not unclick listener, on item click listener, and then we go new on item click listener, which would be the adapter view. So this, every time we click on something, it's going to send it somewhere. We want it to send it to a detail activity, so we got to go over here and create our detail activity. So new on activity, empty activity, and we'll call it detail activity. Detail. And go ahead and hit finish. So let's go down to the detail activity XML file, and we'll switch this to a linear layout. Just type in linear layout, and then we need orientation to be vertical. I think by default it's horizontal. We want each of these items to be stacked on top of each other. So we're just going to have the two text views. So go text view, and then the width we want to match parent. Height, just wrap content, and then give it an ID. We'll call this title underscore TV, and then we go text. Let's get some dummy text in here. We'll go title. I'm not sure why it's not popping up over here. Let's go to the design portion of it, see if we can see. Okay, yeah, see if it loads it. There you go. And then let's get the gravity of this, not layout gravity, just gravity, and we'll go center. And then let's give it a margin, so there's some space all around it. We'll go 24 dp, and then let's increase the text size a lot. So text size, and then we'll go 36 sp. Remember text, you go sp. And then let's just copy this, and then create one, and just name this, give it the ID of detail, or just WAD. We'll go WAD, just to keep it simple, and that's why we named everything else. And then text size, we'll just go 24, maybe. See what that. Yeah, it's good enough. And then let's cut the margin down. Let's go 12, and then we'll just send the gravity to the left. Let's go left. So I think we got everything here. So we have to remember we made two IDs. We made two text views with the IDs of our title TV and WAD TV. So let's go to our detail activity, create the two private text view variables for them, and we'll just say title, and then private text view, and then WAD. So let's go down here and grab the reference. So you go title equals find view by ID, r.id.title TV, and then WAD equals find view by ID, and then r.id.WAD TV. Alright, so let's go back to our main, and to be able to navigate over to the other screen, we need to create an intent. We'll just name this intent equals new intent, and then we got to pass in a context for this activity, and then we have to let it know where we want to go. So we want to go detail activity dot class. Since we're calling it from inside, we can't use this. We have to use main activity dot this. Now, if we would have done something like this, let's go over here, and then go to lv dot set on click listener, and then just type in this, and then we need to implement this, and then go ahead and hit OK. Create this little method down here. That's when you could go like we first had it. This is the way I usually do stuff. I don't know what the big difference is between the two of why I couldn't just put this, but probably because it's inside this onCreate method right here. We'll just actually we'll keep it like this. Tell you the truth, I actually like it better like that. I like keeping my functions and methods and stuff I do outside of the onCreate. So our next step would be to create a couple strings. We need to, whatever item that we click on in the list, we need to pull the information that's connected to the title. So to do that, we have to grab the position of each item that we're clicking on, and to do that, the int I is actually the position of whatever. We'll just rename it POS. Just I don't know, it's easier to understand. So we go string, and then we'll call this title equals WAD list dot get, and then we pass in our position dot get title, and then go ahead and copy that, and then we'll go WAD get WAD. And to actually we need to put something inside our intent. So we go intent dot put extra, and then right here we need to give it a name. So we'll go extra underscore title, and then we'll pass in the title. And then same thing underneath it, we need to do the same thing with the WAD underscore WAD. These are just work as keys for our extras that we're passing through. So the only other thing we need to do is start activity, then intent. So now once we click on it, it's throwing this stuff to the other detail activity. So if we would do something now, nothing would happen because we need to actually grab our extras that we're passing over. So we go bundle, and then we'll just say actually equals get intent dot get extras, and close that off. So here we go, if extras is not equal to null, meaning if there's nothing in it, if there's nothing in it and it tries to pass, and we try to open up this activity, it's going to blow up the app. So we need to make it so if there's nothing in it, it just doesn't do anything. You don't want to crash apps and stuff all the time. So we need to grab our extras that we're passing over and stick them in their own string. So we'll go string, and then we'll go just T for title. We go extra dot get string, and then we have to pass in that string key that we created over here. So we'll go back here and copy this key and then paste it. And then let's just do the same thing. We'll copy that, call this W for WAD, then WOD. So let's move these up ahead of this. We go title dot set text, and then we'll just pass in T. And then we go WAD dot set text, and we'll pass in W. And let's run it. We'll see what we got. All right, see what happens once we tap on the first one. Yeah, okay. Let's go second one. Looks like all the information's unique for each line. So there you go. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and if you want, you can subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate any of them. So yeah, thanks for watching.